So I'm talking about investment and why it's so important to invest in yourself. You've got all of these options to invest in yourself. You've got school, university, you've got workshops and programs, you've got qualifications, you've got licenses and driver's licenses, you've got all of these different ways for you to level up, all right? So these things are investments, and we make investments because we understand and fear the future if we don't make them. So we make an investment based on a projected idea that it's either going to make things easier or we won't lose the things that we love to have by having the thing or attaining the thing. So we invest. So we invest in the stock markets to attain more money. We invest in our qualifications so that we can sustain jobs or job roles or climb the ladder within a corporation or within your career. And that means that you feel comfortable moving through the steps of life, which is great. It's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to level up continuously. And it's only when we're stagnant or we stay still in an area of our lives do we start to feel a little depressed, or we don't know what our purpose is, or we don't really know what we're doing, or we try to find stuff to make us feel like we're going somewhere in life, right? So stagnant times in life result in a lack of purpose, a lack of direction, and an element of depression. So if we constantly are trying to level up in all these different areas, it makes sense that there are sections to life that we have to make sure that we're not channeling too much energy into, right? So like if you're only ever progressing in career, then you're taking your eyes off the prize for many other areas of your life. And I can honestly say that neglecting other areas of your life will result in the worst fears you possibly have coming true. Now, the reason that I say that is because we've got this way of thinking where we think we know what we need. And in actual fact, we normally just chase what we want. And I believe that fitness is a ladder that you have to climb throughout your life, not because it's just something that we want, but throughout our life. It's a thing that our body and our mind and our soul is going to need throughout our whole life. You need to be strong. You need to have endurance. You need to be resilient. You need to be able to take the transferable skills of training, which is I can adapt, progress, and I can put myself in difficult positions and situations, and I can come out at the other side a better person. So what we do in training is a direct correlation of what we should be doing outside of the gym too. We take ourselves from one point, we recognize the point, we understand where we want to be in 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 12 months, and we put in the little steps towards getting there. And then when we get there, we recognize where we were, we recognize where we are, and then we look at what the next steps are, right, in fitness. If you can do that in fitness, you can do that in every other part of your life. If you can do that with your career, you can do it in fitness. If you can do that with your family life, you can do it in fitness. Fitness is your fundamental steps. Now you have to get this dialed in so that you don't suffer later on in life. The unfortunate thing right now in society is we're not pushing the idea of making you future-proof. We're not taking you guys seriously. We're not taking the population seriously and saying, you guys need to be fit and healthy throughout your whole entire life so that when your kids and your grandkids grow up, they don't get overwhelmed with your fucking sorry ass being sick and just making their lives difficult, and you want to be healthy for them throughout their whole life. Not to mention you want to be able, you want to be fit, you want to be able to participate with your kids, your grandkids. You don't want to be the mom and dad that can't take part in sports day when they're saying, okay, it's mom and dad's race. Like, you don't want to be that person. Nobody wants to be that person. Like, that's not me fat shaming or body shaming. That is me saying, if you do become that person, shame on you for not loving yourself enough to do something about it before it got that bad. Shame on you for letting yourself waste away and become a shell of a person and not looking forward to who you could have been for your children or for yourself or for your partner. Like, shame on you for letting yourself get to that stage for the future. And for those of you that let that trigger you, good. Let that trigger you. Let that be a thing that resonates in you, where you now understand that you don't want to be that person. You don't want to feel shame. You don't want to feel shame in the future for that version of yourself. But now you can take that idea of who you could be if you do nothing, and you can implement stuff in order to never be that person that is shameful, that is disgusting and incompetent and has no self-love or self-worth. You can now put in the steps to become something great. And you don't even have to step on stage or become a powerlifter or anything. You just have to be able to lift your kids without twisting your back. Do you know? You only have to be able to be capable of the things that normal people should be able to do. Climb a tree with your kid. Go out and play tag. Play football with them. I'm spitting everywhere. You know, there's nothing worse for me personally looking at people that are incapable. And it's my job. I've been put here on planet Earth to make you guys stronger mentally and physically. Like, I'm here to make sure that I can help you fast track through the steps so that you can get to where you actually want to be faster. It's my job to get you faster, get you there faster. It's my job, when you invest in me, to make sure that you don't hit all of the blocks that I hit on the way through, to make sure that you don't run into walls blindly and then get cut off and then just fear the rest of the journey. Do you know, there's so many stories that I hear of people never going back to fitness or going back to a branch of gyms because they felt such and such, or they did such and such, or they made a fool of themselves because such and such. That is not this space. This space is a development space. This space, you can come here and you can be useless. You can have absolutely zero fitness ability or understanding. It's not your job to have an understanding. It's not your job to be the know-all in the fitness industry. You come here and you invest in yourself, and you have a coach, myself, that will provide every single step, every question, every answer that you could possibly want and need in order for you to get to the better version of yourself that you want to be. Now, as a big fucking rant, but I hope today you can see that there's a version of you in the future that you could become. There's a version of you out there in the future that is amazing. They're incredible. They're so cool. They're so calm. They're collect. They're strong. They're capable. They know their direction. They have a path. They are in tune with what they want and what they need and what their family wants and needs. That's a potential you. You have that in you. It's there. It's there. It's in there. It's ready for you to break out of that pattern of self-disrespect and lack of self-love and poor decision-making. It's on the other side of, I'm gonna do it even though I haven't found the motivation yet. I'm gonna try this even though it makes me uncomfortable. I'm gonna do it even though I have a preconceived idea of what personal training or training in that gym will feel like and look like. I'm gonna just have a look. I'm just gonna put myself into the darkness for a day. I'm just gonna step into the unknown. That's all it takes. That's all it takes is for you to go, fuck it. I'm gonna do something that I never thought I was gonna do. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna invest in somebody that I never thought I'd invest in. I'm gonna try PT. I'm gonna try a class. I'm going to try and get up at 4:30 to go to the class at 5 a.m. I'm just going to put myself out there because that's what a really, really cool version of me would do. That's what a disciplined version of me would do. That's the thing that the future version of myself is thanking me that I finally took the step and done. They're looking back on me right now from the future saying, thank you for taking a step. Thank you for looking at yourself and realizing that you could be more. For looking at yourself and saying, this isn't good enough, but there's a way that I could make this better. And it's not body shape. It's not just body shape. Body shape will result in how you hold yourself, how you view yourself, how you act around people, how you might attain new jobs, how you interact with the people that love you and the people that you love around you. It's going to change the dynamic of your life. And the reason for that is because self-respect begets respect in general. So if you can learn to respect yourself enough to do something self-disciplined, people look at you differently. You hold yourself differently. There's this feeling that you get around somebody that likes themselves enough to give themselves enough discipline to feed themselves, to train, to sleep well, to speak well, to turn themselves into another version of themselves that isn't emotionally unstable or reckless. There's a version of them those people, excuse me, I'm mumbling, but those people you can feel are on the rise. You can feel them growing. And sometimes you resent them because they are doing something that you didn't have the balls to do. And sometimes, just sometimes, you inspire somebody to become an amazing version of themselves. Now, I want you to step into this self-discipline version knowing that you will one day inspire somebody. Your journey through fitness, through personal development, through having this self-love and the dedication to put yourself into something that's uncomfortable is going to inspire somebody, whether that's your new son, whether that is your wife, whether that is your husband. It doesn't matter who it is, but there's a positive ripple effect that's going to happen from your decision. You make the positive decision to become a better version of yourself, and you will have a positive ripple effect on the people around you. You're going to inspire people. You'll create awe. People are just going to wonder what it is that you're doing that's making you feel like this. Do it. Make a decision. Make a decision. Anyway, I'm fed up talking to you guys with my top off, and I've cooled down. I'm done my training for today. Sunday. Sunday, fun day. All right. Enjoy the week. Speak to you later.